Alright, hey guys, it's Merbo's TCG back in the video. So with this video, I'm going to be bringing a Gladiator Beast deck profile for the Theme Chronicle event. And I thought Gladiator Beast was a perfect deck to kind of go for this event, just because it's limiting a lot of the competition, and a lot of these solo decks aren't the greatest archetypes. And I think Gladiator Beast is a really fun one that you guys have clearly enjoyed, because those are really one of the most popular videos on my channel. And yeah, I think this is a good time to pull out Gladiator Beast again and use it during the event. And yeah, let's just get started here. So here I have 3 copies of Gladiator Beast Ondo. Ondo, if you guys know, is super integral to the deck, because this is your great way of getting out your Link 2. And there's a lot of ways to summon it out basically for free, and running 3 copies of it is a must here. And then here we have 3 Test Tiger. Test Tiger is amazing as well, because if you control a face-up Gladiator Beast monster, you're able to get this out, and it's easy to go into a Link 2, go into your Test Panther. So running 3 copies of it, I think, is a must for me. Here I only run 1 copy of Bestiari. I think it's great because you do get access to your Geyseris. But I don't think you need more than 1 copy of this. I know some people run 2 copies. I was running 2 copies at a time, but I decided that 1 was just right for me. It's pretty easy to get this out if you are trying to go into a Geyseris. So I think just 1 copy is great. Here we have Darius. Darius is great. I think I can see an argument for wanting to get rid of it, but I think its ability to target a Gladiator Beast monster in your grave and special summon it makes it easy to go into a Link 2 or just build up your Link monsters. So I like having it here. Here we have Gladiator Beast Quest. I run 2 copies of this card because a Quest is just a great card that lets you recycle a lot of your Gladiator Beast cards, and it's a great way to get your Gladiator Beast comeback, because this card is kind of the soul of the deck, and that really gets it going. So being able to recycle this card is just really powerful. And then here we have 3 copies of Rescue Rabbit. You can see I don't have all 3 copies just yet, but I am trying to build up the UR for the event. And 3 copies of Rescue Rabbit is really good, just because this is one of the cards I was mentioning that can kind of get your Ondos out. And if you get the normal summon on this, get your 2 Ondos, you can go straight into your Test Panther and kind of get going here. And yeah, 3 copies of that I think is a must. But I've seen people argue that you could like get it out and run a different type of build, which is fine, but I just like running my Rescue Rabbit here. Then we have Adorix. Adorix is of course a really good card here. It's just going to be able to take the place of whatever Gladiator Beast monster you may need. This is great as well if you're trying to go into a Geyseris. And it's just able to go into a Gladiator Beast. It can change itself into a different level so that you're actually able to go into your Tamer a lot easier. Noxious is mainly here because it's a level 5. And yeah, it's a great target for the Adorix, and it's a weird like type of hand trap that you can have here. Vespasius here mainly for the name and for being able to serve as that level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast for the Tamer editor. And then Augustus is probably the best level 5 or higher that you have in the archetype. As you're able to get this out, you can even bring it with its own effect. You can bring itself out, which is really great because it doesn't say anything about not being able to target itself, which is very interesting, and it's definitely like a sign of like the time of the card. But yeah, this card's just amazing. A great way to just go out and get multiple Gladiator Beasts out here. And then here we have Mind Control. I think Mind Control is great just because you're able to take one of your opponent's monsters, or at least force a reaction out of them. And if they don't do anything about that monster that you've taken from them, then you can use that to go into your Link to your Test Panther, because Test Panther only requires 2 monsters, including a Gladiator Beast monster, which means that the other monster does not need to be a Glad Beast. Monster Reborn, really good for this deck, just because it gives you another target for your Test Panther's effect. Here we have Gladiator Proving Ground. You're just able to search out whatever you need. Great card there. Unexpected Die, just another great one for searching out and getting out your Ondo. Here we have one copy of World Legacy Succession. This card, again, just kind of the same thing as Monster Reborn. You're just using that in order to, it's like a shuffle target for your Test Panther. So that's great there. Then we have 3 Gladiator Beast Comeback, which is the best Monster Reborn type card in your deck, as you're able to special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or grave. So it's not just the grave, but it has to be a different type from the monsters you control. So just make sure you keep track of that. Make sure you're getting out the monsters that like the monster types like Vespasius or like the Sea Serpents or whatever that are super common in the deck, so that you have access to bring out a lot more things. And they cannot be destroyed by battle. That becomes really relevant because a lot of people don't pay attention to that aspect of the card, and you can kind of get away with somebody just attacking into you and you're just saved for that battle phase. So 3 copies of that is definitely a must. Then we have 2 copies of Dark Ruler No More. Dark Ruler No More is just a great board breaker. You're going to use this during your second turn because you like going second. And just using this makes it a lot easier to deal with your opponent's cards. I could even see the argument for a 3rd copy. It's a really great card here. I like running 3 copies of Gladiator Rejection just because if you already have a way to get a Gladiator Beast monster out from the main deck, then you just get a bonus Gladiator Beast monster here. So I think that's pretty good because that's the whole thing of Gladiator Beast. 2 Called by the Graves, you don't like hand traps, don't want to deal with that. 3 Infinite Permanence. Infinite Permanence, great card. Just a great hand trap for this deck that doesn't really like conflict with it. And yeah, just be able to deal with monsters pretty easily just by negating them early on. Alright guys, so before I go to the extra deck, if you guys are enjoying the video and want to support the channel, make sure to check the Patreon down in the description down below, or like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps too. And let's get started here. So I run 1 Esadari because I think Esadari is great. If you get 2 Gladiator Beast monsters out, you're able to actually go into a this guy who's actually level 5 and makes it easier to go into the Tamer Editor. 1 copy of Geyseris just because it's a level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast monster and it's able to pop 2 cards on its summon. And it's not once per turn, which is really important here to note. Heraclinos, you're able to negate as many spells and traps as you have cards in your head. That card is really great to have here. Then we have 1 Andabata. Andabata is great because it's actually like pretty interesting, like being able to get this card out. If it's summoned in a particular way, then by using Augustus and 2 Gladiator Beast monsters, you can special summon 1 level 7 or lower Gladiator Beast fusion monster from your extra deck, ignoring its special summoning conditions. So it makes it pretty solid if you're actually able to get this out, so you're just not stuck into only getting Tamer Editor. But Tamer Editor is the main one that you're going to want to go for anyways. Tamer Editor is just great, just being able to cheat out your Damatianus, which is going to be your main goal. Cheating on Damatianus and Heraclinos. Speaking of Damatianus, I run 2 copies of this because it's your monster negate. Just a really good card. Not only is it a monster negate, but it chooses the battles, which is extremely powerful, as you're able to choose what your opponent targets into. So just a really good card. A lot of people don't pay attention. So if you have Damatianus out and you used Gladiator Base comeback to actually bring back your Tame Editor, and you're worried about them attacking into a monster that might actually die because of their battle, then you can just use it to battle into your Tamer Editor that can't be destroyed by battle, or just into your Damatianus that has a 3500 attack. Then we have 1 copy of Link Spider because if you have 1 normal monster, which is Ondo, you're actually able to link it away into this Link Spider and then bring out another Ondo from your hand and go into your Test Tiger. Test Panther pretty quickly. And then here, Gladiator Beast Dragosis. I think this is a really good card that I think is kind of overlooked. I know initially I overlooked it, but if you're just able to get 2 Gladiator Beast monsters out here and attack into this, you're able to special summon into 2 Gladiator Beast monsters with different names from your deck. And also it has the effect where if it's in battle, all Gladiator Beast monsters you control, one, they're attacking, they cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, your opponents cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So that just makes you reign supreme during battle. As you know, there's not going to be any surprises during that. Really good Link monster there. Test Panther, which is your main card, as you're able to just, when it's Link Summon, you're able to get a Gladiator Beast card from your deck to your hand. So that's extremely powerful, as you're able to get your Monster Reborn for the deck in the form of Gladiator Beast Comeback. And then you can use Test Panther to shuffle whatever target you need. Whatever target you have on the field in order to get whatever card you need. So 2 copies of that, it's great. As 3, you don't really need to get out often. And then Cross Sheep, I think, is a great card just because when you actually fusion summon into one of its arrows, you're able to switch summon a level 4 or lower monster from your grave, which just makes you easier to build up more material so that you have more for your Appaloosa if you choose to go into that. Draco Master the Tenyi. I think this card is great because it only requires 2+ monsters, including a Link monster, which is pretty easy to get out. And it cannot be destroyed by battle with an effect monster. So, and if you control another effect monsters, you can destroy effect monsters your opponent controls up to the number of non-effect monsters you control and or in your grave. So it's just a great way to get some value out of the Ondos that are in your grave. Or if you happen to have them on the field, which is unlikely, but if you do, then you can get some popping effects there. And then we have Appaloosa here as just a powerful negate card that everybody kind of knows here, that you're able to buff up pretty quickly. And yeah, it's just a really strong negate for the deck. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my deck profile for the theme Chronicle event. If you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching.